Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, a bonus reading for the full moon and Mercury in retrograde in the month of June on the 29th. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, we all have a little bit of Virgo somewhere in our birth chart. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Virgo in? That will give you further clarity as to where this information is most likely to show up for you. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's perfect timing. But if it has been a while since I have posted this, take a look back at what was going on in your life back then. That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we do have the energy of the Two of Wands for the underlying energy for the entire reading. And we are talking about someone who wants to expand their horizons. He is standing at the turret of his castle and he's overlooking his domain. And he says, I have the world in my hands. He's very successful where he's at, but he feels like a big fish in a little pond because he lives in a small village of like 3,000 people. So he's thinking, I know I have to expand my horizons. If I want to be where I want to be, I'm going to need to add. And so quite often, like the wands do represent the element of fire, and they're made of wood because wood fuels the fire. So this is about taking passionate action to move forward. And quite often this reminds me of an entrepreneur. He's planted one wand here. So this sometimes can represent an energy of wanting to move forward and actually change location, or it can be adding another business, to your location, something like that. The energy of maybe having franchises. This can also talk, because it's across the water, about communication with others overseas, that type of energy. It could be, sometimes this can represent wanting to expand your family. So possibly having found that special someone or about to be and want to start a family. We have, for the underlying energy for your internal forces, which is the bottom of the spread here, we have Temperance. So Temperance has been coming up a lot in the readings lately, and I feel that's because the full moon that's coming up on the 29th, it's in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is probably one of the most emotional signs of the entire tarot, or of the horoscope, basically. And so the Cancer energy, with the moon in that sign, it tends to be a little extra emotional. You may have noticed full moons can be very emotional time. There is about 3 days before and 3 days after a full moon. It really can, you might be really feeling it. The Cancer full moon coming up is actually about achievements, and it's about more about achievements in your private life and your domestic life. And also it's about, but across from that is Capricorn energy. So across from the Virgo energy, across from the Cancer energy is Capricorn. And the Capricorn energy in the tarot is about, or in the horoscope, is about rewards for your career, your public image. It's about it's also punishments in that area. So it can be, it's a kind of a back and forth between your home life and your business life, your public image as opposed to your home. And so this energy, it's always best if that's balanced and you're the same in public as you are at home, but that doesn't always work out for everybody. So this is talking about kind of, maybe there could be emotions regarding that kind of energy. There could be something about your career that makes it difficult for you in your home life, or your home life that makes it difficult for you in your career. Just be aware that the emotions may be running high with that Cancer full moon. Temperance is about controlling your emotions. It's about not, especially anger, like giving into anger and then, you know, tweeting all over the place and then regretting it later. You'll notice with this card here, a lot of people feel this is like the earth angel energy. In the Bible, it says that God sends 144,000 angels down to earth. And so this is about taking your own special, unique qualities and bringing that into the universal pool of water, adding it to that. And then you notice that she's grounding her left foot on land here. And right where she grounds it, look at, there's some beautiful flowers growing there. And so this is about staying on your path of glory. And that's the sun is at the end of the path there. And the sun is representing the energy of God. So this is about your internal forces. Your internal forces you do have control over. And it's a lot easier to be successful if you learn to control that emotional impulses. And that's what this card is about, basically. Controlling that energy, especially not giving into it and then causing more problems for you down the road. We have this card of immature competition has shown up in almost every reading I've done in the last 2 weeks. So there is kind of an energy out there. This is my Mean Girls card. This is when, this is the only card in the tarot where there's adolescents fighting. And the thing is, this sometimes can represent competition between siblings, so sibling rivalry. And it can also represent the fact that we're all siblings in the big picture, right, around the world. And so it can talk about a lot of fighting around the world as well, which is what we're seeing right now at this time. And the energy is immature competition is when, it's the Mean Girls card. There's a, picture narcissistic cheerleaders. They're in grade 6 to grade 10. They're young and they want that trophy. They're at a competition and they want the trophy. But they can see they're used to winning the trophy too. But there's a team there that is better than them and they can tell, oh my gosh, they're better than us. And they are, they'll do anything to get that trophy. So if they have to trip someone up or whatever they have to do, if they have to be mean and bully someone and cause them to cry, whatever they do, they're going to do so that they can win that trophy. And if they don't succeed, their mothers will pull strings in the back to be able to. And so that's the kind of energy of immature competition. As we mature, we start to realize that competition is actually about bettering ourselves. And so it's about, you could use competition to be inspired by someone being better than you and, raising your game. And it's also talking about recognizing that the competition is really in yourself. Can you keep your shift together under pressure? So this is something that we learn as we go, that really we're in competition with ourselves in the end. But if everybody on the team decides, okay, we're going to watch them and we're going to figure out how they're doing that move, and then we're going to practice it, and we're going to be better than we were last time we came out. If you're even 1% better than you were the last time, it's a huge improvement actually. And you only have to be 1% better than the best team to win. You don't have to be 100% better, 1% will do. And so this is talking about using that idea of learning from the competition rather than trying to conquer them. And this is talking about focusing on your own performance, basically. This is your self-image right now. You may feel that you're in a situation where you have a lot of competition around you, and maybe it's unfair competition. It could be in any area of your life, or it could be in all areas of your life. We do have a King of Cups here. The King of Cups is representing one of the 4 kings in the tarot, and he's the most likely to be in like a traditional relationship. The King of Cups is known to be very calm. It's like this energy of this temperance is really coming up here. It's talking about staying calm under pressure, understanding people, having emotional intelligence. And so the king, he's out in the middle of this really rough water. Rough water in tarot represents volatile emotions and chaos, chaos around you. He's in the eye of the storm. He's waiting for the perfect opportunity to deliver his cup of love. He's got his right foot forward, so he's ready. But he's waiting for things to calm down, because he knows that if he delivers the cup now, it's probably not going to be the opportune time. And maybe he's the judge with the cup for the competition. I never thought of that before. So this energy is talking about possibly someone wanting to offer you a cup of love, or you might be the King of Cups and wanting to offer a cup of love. You might be in that energy. And sometimes this can represent your paternal bloodline. So like your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather, uncles, male uncles, male cousins, that brothers, that sort of energy. And then we have the sun. So the sun is talking about God showing up right here. The happiest card in the deck, shining light on the situation. When the sun shows up in a reading, it's saying this is a happy outcome for you. And it's talking about, you being on so long as you stay on your destined path. That's this heavy banner, this child. This is saying you're a child of God, and you can carry this heavy banner is your destiny, but this child is carrying it with ease. He's on this pony. There's no fear whatsoever, no saddle, no reins, no need for them. Totally happy. That's what the sunflowers, the sunflower heads, they turn with the sun to absorb it. And that's why sunflowers grow so fast. And so this is talking about that energy of being on your destined path. This is how your image of yourself right now, having a lot of competition. This is about your abundance, and this is about your early communication, like your family life, like when you were young, the family you grew up in and how you approach life. And so basically this is saying you were a happy child. And then we have this energy here. This is talking more about your emotional state. Now this is in the house of, your home life, as we were talking about with the fourth house is rules over Cancer, basically. And this energy is about the moon partially. Like this is the hidden illusions, secrets coming out. And this is not a happy card, clearly. So this is talking about, well, you're meant to be happy in that. The competition is affecting you, because this is, you're down in the trenches, basically. This is a card of having been backstabbed like at least 10 times, and you're down on the ground. And this is talking a concerted effort. The swords represent the energy of air, the element of air. And swords, each of the swords represents a thought, basically. And it can be, the swords are your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind. And also they're double-edged, so it's your intuition as well as your logic. So there's been a concerted effort to put you down in this position. We have 10 swords here. And this card, the 10 card, is representing the energy of a new beginning, basically. It's saying this is coming to an end. 1 + 0 equals 1. And so this is a 1 card. This is saying a new beginning is coming up after this hardship. The energy here is talking also about, you've been stabbed in the back, and it's talking about, this can be like for over a decade. This card and the 9 of Swords were coming up in the readings constantly at the beginning of the year. And that's because the 2025, 2 + 2 + 5 is 9, was the end of a 9-year cycle, like moving into a 10. So this is like talking about a decade of energy of being in this position, like where you were being stabbed in your back, and you didn't, maybe you knew you weren't, like you knew something was going on, but I don't think you understood exactly how much it was happening. And so this can be one person stabbing you in the back every year. This could be representing 10 different people, or even 10 groups of people. And so trying to keep you down on the ground. This isn't they sort of kind of didn't like you. This is saying like they wanted you down on the ground, and they wanted you to stay there. But your hand is in the form of a blessing here, and this is talking about the same as the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice down to the earth from the spiritual realm after spiritual court has been in order. And it's talking about that when you look back on this, you may find, believe it or not, that this is a blessing in disguise that this happened. We do have light at the end of the tunnel. We just had the solstice on the 21st, and I think it's the 24th today as I'm doing this. Is it the 24th or is it the 23rd? It's the 24th. So it's only been a few days since the solstice. The solstice represents the longest day of the year and the shortest night. So the light is really being shone on this situation. The truth is coming out about it. And this is basically saying, get back up. God's saying, get back up. You need to get up and keep moving here. Don't give up now. And this energy is in creativity, romance, and children. So, wow. So this is talking about the shift disturber. The shift disturber is kind of a walking contradiction. Basically, it's hard to understand what exactly this is doing. Sometimes this can just represent a buffoon, someone who's a clown, or and causes irritating, like his actions cause irritations in other people's lives and in his own. Just like someone who's very impulsive. And but sometimes this card can also represent, like, you know, it's hard to understand what he's doing. He has two swords planted here, and then he has, you know, these bright red boots and this bright red hat on. And it's like, but he's sneaking around in broad daylight, and it looks like he's stealing these 5 swords. It's like he's running away with them. He's on tiptoe, but he's in broad daylight, so it doesn't really make sense. This is like, so if he's a thief, he's not a thief in the night, but he might be a thief in broad daylight. And because these swords represent thoughts, this could talk about stealing someone's intellectual material or, you know, patents from inventors, that sort of energy, pushing paper behind the scenes, white-collar crime, forgery, identity theft, Ponzi schemes, and pyramid schemes, that type of energy. Things that you could do sitting at your desk. So, you know, people in the office are going, oh, Joe is the best. Like, he comes in early and he leaves late every day. And sometimes he doesn't even take his lunch. And, you know, he's one of our hardest workers. But in the meantime, half the time he's at work, he's pushing different paper than what he should be, like money laundering, etc. So this can quite often represent white-collar crime. And the thing that's most dangerous about this energy is the fact that, you know, he's not looking where he's going. He's looking back into the past, and he's not looking forward, but he's moving forward, and he could very easily trip. And look how he's holding these swords. Like, have you ever seen anyone hold swords like this? These are super sharp. If he trips, he could lose his hands. Like, this is so dangerous. Who does this? Like, it's like, what? And if he's this dangerous with his own energy, how careful do you think he's going to be with other people's? And this is in your creativity, romance, and children. So, like, if this is your partner, like, you know, maybe you need to get a babysitter for him instead of the kids. But, you know, like, it's that kind of energy that you can't rely on, for sure. And and that might be why he has the 2 swords planted here, is because this could represent you and his energy. Maybe you're not with this person anymore. This card can also, and it's coming up, it can represent the 7-year itch. And the 7-year itch is a phenomena, basically. Statistically, if people are going to get divorced, it'll quite often happen in the 7th year. And it's a weird statistic, but statistically, people actually get divorced most often in the 1st year of marriage. Well, which kind of was like, wow, that I didn't realize that. I mean, give it a chance, right? But I feel a lot of times that's because the wedding is more important than the actual marriage. And the energy, though, is on the 7th year. So quite often this can represent maybe sneaking around the 7-year itch, quite often in the 7th year, bored, and maybe there's a third party energy. Maybe he's sneaking around in broad daylight on his lunch hours. He's going to hook up with someone. It's that type of energy. There's also what's interesting is they also found statistically that if someone has purchased a house, there's a lot of people will sell their house after they've owned it for 7 years. And if people own a business, even if it's successful after 7 years, they'll be like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And a 7-year business is when a lot of people sell. So it's just something to keep in mind. So if this isn't about your romantic love life, this could be about partners, people that you work with, that sort of energy. We have Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is talking about multitasking, which is a very good skill to have. But it's a warning because it's saying if you multitask to the point where you're doing more quantity than quality, you end up doing things twice and then it's not going to benefit you. Plus, sometimes we end up just getting used to being busy and then we keep ourselves busy, maybe because there's something at home we don't want to have to go home to. So we work late at night, that type of energy. This is about a small ship on a smaller wave gaining momentum. So whatever the energy is happening, it's gaining it's more and more and more instead of like keeping it in balance. And this is about keeping it balanced. This could represent that energy we're talking about with the full moon, where there is a struggle between your public image and your home, your domestic image. This can also talk about juggling two jobs maybe to stay, if you're in that kind of energy. It can be about juggling two lifestyles. There could be a lot of energy here. Maybe the lover is like, this is not a heterosexual relationship, that it could be a lot of different things. Having said that, what this card is basically saying is juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And so this is this is creativity, romance, and children. This is actually in your daily routine habits, health, that sort of thing. That's kind of an issue. If someone is sneaking around in that way, it could affect your health. So it's not great energy. And then we have the King of Swords coming from the bottom for the external forces. So this energy, the King of Swords is someone that is very, he's at the top of his game. This is an authority figure. King of Swords energy is usually someone who's well educated, and they use that education and their mental intelligence to earn their living for their career. So this is someone that uses words for earning their living. This quite often, we have a king here, and you notice the word words is in swords. So this is the King of Swords understands the power of words. They can be used as weapons, and they can also be used to uplift people. This is a king, so sometimes this can represent political energy, like politicians. Politicians use their words and they speak a lot, and they're also responsible for making the laws in the land, running things up at the top. So they have authority. And this is talking maybe, if this is a politician, this is going to be someone that is a prime minister, a president, someone high up, someone in the Senate, the Congress, maybe ministers in the federal government, depending on the different government systems that we have around the world. This also can be talking about the lawmakers and the law keepers. So this is definitely lawyer energy. This quite often can represent a lawyer. If this is a lawyer, this is most likely a lawyer that is maybe a partner in a very prestigious firm. The energy can also be of judges. It can be head prosecutors. It can be the chief of police, about its law and order, basically, bringing that into being. We have also, this can represent the energy of a best-selling author, on the New York Times best-selling list. This can represent engineers, inventors, researchers, maybe someone that is working in labs with, like we have situations now that we have some truth coming out about where the thing that we were dealing with from for several years here came from. It's that type of energy. This energy can also talk about a surgeon, a veterinarian. This can talk about what else? Surgeons, veterinarians, psychiatrists, dentists, that sort of energy. Someone high educated that's more likely to be using their mind more than their hands, like physical labor to do their job. And this is in this is the underlying energy for the external forces coming in. So this could represent that you're needing a lawyer or wanting to see a lawyer, or it could be representing that the energy I described here is behind this energy for you. And then we have, but God is giving you a reward for staying on your destined path here. So this is talking about partnerships, commitments, and marriage. Interesting. So this is talking about your because you've stayed on your destined path and got up. You must have got up because you're still here. That now you're due to receive a reward, and that will be in partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So this is talking about a much better lifestyle coming your way, a gift from the divine and the universe. We have the energy of making money here. So this is someone who's very focused on making money. Pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D world. And a big part of that is money. So, of course, the pentacle energy is represented by a coin. And this, because let's face it, you have to have money to be happy in the 3D or to be able to survive in the 3D. And so this energy is talking about, it's generally lifestyle, but this particular card is talking about this person is very focused on making money, and they're literally pounding out a coin here. You don't see that. That's the only card where someone is literally not, making the actual money. And so sometimes in situations like this, the way the energy is here, this can be talking about making money, like counterfeit, money laundering, illegally making money, all the different schemes out there, the scams out there. That's the type of energy that, and that's in transition. So I feel like that's saying, because you got up again, the truth is coming in about this situation. You will be rewarded by having a better lifestyle, but and this is also saying that some sort of transition is coming in. I feel you're going to find out what's been going on behind the scenes here, behind your back. And these are people that have been making money off your back. That's how it's coming up. Money off your back. This is going to start a new cycle when you recognize when the information comes in. It's going to change your life, and you're going to be on a brand new cycle. You'll be the fool taking a leap of faith on a new cycle and a new journey. The fool starts at the 0 point, and the sun is shining in the background, and it's bright white. And so it's talking about going on, innocence on a new path. He's got very little baggage here. He does have tattered sleeves though. So the tattered sleeves are representing the energy that you've been on a cycle before. So whatever you've learned from this cycle, you'll take that information with you, but you're in a new place, like a new cycle happening. And this is talking about your higher learning. And then we have the devil coming in here. So this is temptation. This is in your career and reputation. So definitely there's been people that have been making money off your back, and while they've been doing that, they've been tempted by something. Now, and because this energy is here, and this is in romance, children, and creativity, this is also in partnerships. So someone new is coming in to replace this energy. when it comes to your inner circle energy, basically, because this is involving, it could be a partner in business, it could be a partner in your life, like your spouse, or someone in, you know, in your inner circle, a close friend, family members, that type of energy. There's temptation here. And look at this, we have two lovers here, and they're yoked to each other and they're chained to Saturn's box. This he's haunched in between them, saying this energy is coming in between, and it's talking, this is lust, not love. This is about animal instinct. So definitely I feel this is talking about someone sneaking around, your partner, basically, romantic partner, sneaking around behind the scenes. And maybe, like, not only was he pushing paper at his desk, he was also sneaking around on his lunch hours, possibly, like with someone with a third party energy. And this kind of energy also is, it could have been someone at work, you know? So yeah, this energy is, let's see, when the devil energy comes up, I always cover it with the next card up, because I want to see, you know, the devil doesn't do his own dirty work, and he's not going to tell the truth. So there's no point asking the devil, okay, what's this about? We're going to get the next card up. We're going to see what minion does he send in to do his dirty work for him, and maybe we can get an idea what it's about. Maybe God covers it, because you're on a new journey. The devil doesn't want you to be on a new cycle. I feel like this is saying you're walking away from this energy. So if you've had a partner or someone in your life that has been in this energy and they've been participating in this, they're either walking away or you're walking away. And I feel like it's you walking away. Like, look at here, we have 5 cups and we have 2 cups, a gap, and a third cup. So that can quite often represent this third party energy. And he may be walking, or she may be walking away from you in the relationship, or you may be walking away from them, but it's talking about, and look at, it's on the 7th, between the 7th and the 8th year. So I definitely feel that this is talking about this energy here. And either they walk away or you walk away from them, and that causes, and this then could represent a divorce lawyer, you know, that bickering, that type of energy. The cup of love, that would have to be coming after, because you first need to clear this energy up. And then we have, yeah, this is kind of having a closed mind, and this is about blessings. So if you want to receive this blessing of this new reward, it's basically saying you have to face this situation. And I feel like you, this is an energy of someone, like this is an energy coming towards you. So this could be the other person maybe in regret for this, because now it's come to a head. Maybe you've walked away, you found out and you walked away, and that what, like they just wanted to keep on being able to do it. But this is talking about someone who is trying to make a decision, but they're having a difficult time. They can only see 2 ways of you know, doing, of what the 2 choices basically, either this or that, my way or the highway. And this is coming from external forces. So it's kind of like this energy, they have no intentions of changing. They might say they're going to change, and they might change for a little while, but they actually don't. And this energy is very draining. You can see the masculine and the feminine energy is leaking out, and it's coming from the base chakra. And this could represent someone who's addicted to some substances, or perhaps is addicted to same-sex you know, opportunities, and is not wanting that to be public. You know, this is the career and reputation, the public part of the life. So and this is blessings coming in. So whatever they're up to and you can't see, that's going to affect, if you stay with them, that's going to affect your blessings coming in. This is protecting the heart, feeling very vulnerable. The right arm is holding the left arm back. So this person really doesn't want you to use your intuition. You might be an intuitive person, and they know, man, if they start using their intuition, they're going to figure this out. Because logically, they've been very careful to not get caught. But intuitively, that's a different thing. And so this is about your energy and their energy, both like not wanting to see the real picture. But I feel like now, I mean, it's being exposed, and you have to take action. There's never only two ways of doing something. So this is saying when you start using your intuition and your logic, you'll come to more, you'll realize, oh, there's way more options here than just two. And then we have this energy of reconciliation. So this could mean a couple things. Reconciliation would imply if you're reconciling with someone that you need to forgive them or they need to forgive you. It could be that kind of energy, someone from your past coming back in. If it's this person, I would say they've already pretty much shown you who they are. But there could be someone from your past. I don't feel that this is talking about going back to someone. This is sitting on the devil. You're lucky you got away. Like you got away by the skin of your teeth. So you really, really, really don't want to be back in that energy. So, and it might be that energy could be like, oh, there's only two choices, this guy or this guy. Pick this guy then, the new one coming in. But there is never only two choices. So maybe the best choice is to look after yourself first and foremost, heal your heart until you're ready to move into a new relationship. That's what this energy is talking about, I feel. And it's also about them. This can be saying it just could be you reuniting with someone from the past. It doesn't have to be someone you've had a past relationship with. This can be talking about, and it's significant because this is talking about childhood. So this could be someone that you've met, that you know from your childhood, that, because we do have this cup of love here. And I do feel that this energy, I feel like for a lot of people, if this cup of love is showing up here, you've already maybe hired the divorce lawyer. You're already ready. You're on this new cycle because you walked away. You took the blindfold off, looked at the situation and dealt with it. That's the type of energy. And yeah, you found out like it was probably worse than you thought it was because there's a lot of energy here. And we've got this sibling rivalry. God knows what was going on. God does know. We don't, and God knows. I think that's good enough. But this is talking about, this card is full of illusions because when you first look at this card, it looks like two children goofing around and playing with these potted plants. And then there's someone in the background that's kind of watching over them. But if you look more closely, you realize, hey, wait a minute, that's a gnome. And this is a little woman. And this little woman is an old hag when you look at her from the back. But when you look at her from the front, she looks like a young woman. Both of them are wearing this white glove. And that's saying they don't want to get their hands dirty. The old hag is just like, take your flowers and you know what to do with them. They're not even your flowers. We don't want them. Let's go. The young woman is being nice and is a people pleaser and explaining how they don't want to get their hands dirty because they're wearing their finery. And, this is saying, are you going to be a people pleaser if someone comes back into your life that would be in this energy and do this to you? Don't be taking them back in. People tend to show you who they are the first time around. I mean, that's a decision up to you to make, but it doesn't look like it's this person has been good for you. And the cups here with the flowers in them, white flowers in tarot represent, innocence. And these flowers aren't innocent. And the flowers are actually the energy of, this is Datra. And Datra is from the nightshade family. It's toxic for people. Children and pets can become very sick if they ingested this. You would never let children play with this. You wouldn't plant it in your yard with pets or children around. Datra is sometimes used by shamans in ceremony to create visions so that they can heal childhood wounds. And this person in the background is actually not looking over these children. He's a stranger walking down the path. So this is talking about, the whole thing is an illusion. This can be talking about, you might have some illusions from your childhood, regarding your siblings, etc. And this information, I feel, is coming out. It's coming to the surface, and there's going to be a lot of change in your life. This is talking about a lot of change, but it's change for the better now that you've made this decision to get away from that energy that's not serving you. This energy here also can talk about secret society energy. With these two cards coming out together, secret societies, sometimes they get together and do this to ruin people's career and reputation so that they have to walk away from the work, and then they take over. And that, it's not uncommon. It can be there's a bazillion ways that this happens. We're seeing it in the news, at the top of the news with all those files. We're seeing it every day, a new truth coming out about this. And so you have to remember, Mercury is in retrograde on the 29th, and it's on the same day as the full moon coming out. So communication can be very skewed. So you're going to have to make sure you check your facts, and you know, that people aren't lying when they're talking to you. You're going to need a lawyer to sort through this and make sure to find out what happened, because I feel like you're missing some money here. There's been something going on behind your back for sure, and it might have been going on since you were a child. That's what this card basically is saying. And the communication between you and your family may not be really clear. So that's another thing that's coming up. There could be members of your family that know about something and you don't know about it, and they're doing their best to keep you from finding out. Maybe you live on the other side of the world from them, or you know, that type of, like, not being around when something happens. So this energy, it's talking about that type of energy. There could be illusions here that you want to take care of. The white glove and slow dagger is something you can Google. It's, I don't know if it's on Google anymore, but AI assistance was talking about it. It's just when a bunch of people gang up and they use tactics to cause someone to want to just give up. Like, I don't even want to be here anymore. Like, that's that type of energy. So just take a look at that. It's not the most pleasant reading, but at the same time, it's a really good thing that you're finding out what's really going on. And the sun is shining on it, saying that you will be happy. Once all this information comes out, it's going to be like a real upgrade in your lifestyle. So that's the good news. I'm going to clarify this now, and with my oracle cards. And this is Tales from the Vector, and this is, I wanted to use the underlying energy for these ones. This is Tales from the Vector. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. The energy, the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order that they are on my website, talesfromthevector.com. Wow, look at all the vertical cards coming in here. So this is talking, all the numbers on these cards represent the paintings as they're listed in the oracle, in the gallery of paintings. And so I will put them in the order they come here in the description box below. So if you want to take a look at them, they say a picture paints 1,000 words. Maybe it'll give you further clarity as to the situation. We have anger coming in here, karmic space. This could be talking about something that has been passed down. Now we have the paternal line. I feel like if there could be people on the paternal side of your family that are involved in this. If you're married, it could be the paternal side of your spouse's or ex-spouse's family, whichever that is. Anger is a gift that keeps on giving, so it gets passed down from one generation to another. So, this is also saying that you know, there's such a thing as righteous anger. When you find out about what's been going on behind your back, you might be really, really angry. It's saying, you know, be angry. It's, you know, get through it, but then you want to let the anger go, because if you hang on to anger, it makes you acidic, and then you're not going to be able to enjoy the life that you are meant to live. We have the Lovers here and Temperance. So this is internal forces. I feel this is definitely saying that this could be saying there's a new lover coming in that's going to adore you and you'll adore them. And it can be talking about a past lover. This is in the romance position that was involved in this energy. We have temperance, and this is about having being devoted to your path regardless. This temperance sometimes energy can also represent sibling rivalry in your family, because people want what's yours. They don't want their destiny. They want your destiny. That's on a spiritual and a physical level. We have the star energy, and so this is talking about the king, this energy of a new lover coming in. This could also just represent like the paternal line that's been doing this energy, or both. Sees you as a star, understands like, hey, like you have a lot to offer here, and these people, maybe they've looked into it. How is it that like you should be shining, like you should be shining bright, and instead, and then finding out, oh, it's your own family and friends and your lover and maybe your spouse that are keeping you from shining, basically. And he's like, okay, this could be an energy of someone that actually looked into this and is maybe pulling strings themselves behind the scenes to make things to bring justice to this situation. Once this energy comes in, though, it's talking about you can anticipate a strong future. So this is sitting on the sun. So God's reminding you, this could be really challenging right now. Hang in there, because it's going to change. We have judgment, God's judgment on what has happened here, definitely. So this is saying spiritual court has already been in session. There's been judgment made. It's coming down to earth, and the justice is going to be hitting. And we do have this energy of, and it keeps coming up in all the readings, we have this energy of Uranus being in the sign of Gemini. And it just moved in there about a month ago. It hasn't been in the sign of Gemini since 1941 to 1949, when Second World War was happening, and we're still dealing with a lot of the truths from that time frame. So this energy is going to be with us for another 7.5 to 8 years, like till 2033, and it's bringing the truth out in situations. So this is saying, so long as you're on the right side of the law, the Hierophant has his right hand in a blessing, and this is in the right hand. So this is if you're following universal law, God's law, spiritual law, and physical, like not breaking the law by making money off someone else's back, basically, then you are going to, the judgment will be in your favor, and you're going to be happy. You can anticipate a much better future. Abuse of power. Yeah, so this is talking about this abuse of power. So this could be saying that there could be authority figures involved, like this is an authority figure here. Let's see. We have the sun shining on this again. So this juggling of morals, of, all of this energy here, God is saying again, this is changing. And look at when God comes into a reading, like we have God's judgment, we have God here, and we have God here saying that you can anticipate a strong journey. I'd say you're in good hands. There we go. We have the Capricorn energy. That does come off the top here. So this is talking about ambition. Someone like there's ambitious people, people maybe that see the possibilities in this reward, and they want it rather than you. This is keeps coming up in the reading, and this could be talking about causing challenges for you so that they can get the possibilities for themselves. The Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn, and the devil energy is also ruled by Saturn. So this could be talking about, this is just confirming that the people that the devil is sending in the temptation is because of this huge reward. So that energy, I just want to point out that when horoscope signs come up in my readings, I'm not singling anyone out. It's about the different energies of the signs. Capricorn is a very responsible sign, disciplined in doing things the right way. When it's in the strong energy, when it's in weak energy, it can be in this kind of energy. And unfortunately, I feel like that's where it is now. So I'm not trying to single out a certain person. I'm just looking at the state of being of each sign. Now, in your own reading, you could say, no, Colette, there's a Capricorn involved. Like, use your intuition on that. It can't always be a Capricorn. Not, you know, I don't have a huge platform as of yet, but I see platforms where people have like hundreds of thousands of viewers. There's no way it can be a Capricorn every time. I feel it's talking about the energy. So the denial is coming in, what I don't know won't hurt me. So see, that's an energy that comes in quite often where you didn't want to see it. So you didn't see it, and yeah, it took a lot. And this can be like, people could take you as being very naive or stupid because you couldn't see what they were doing. But when a whole bunch of people come together and they've practiced at it, and they come together and they create an illusion, it can, you know, and these are people, and you say, oh, you know, I have this bad feeling that so-and-so, like, oh, are you crazy? They would never do that to you. They love you. Oh no, like you know, like why are you even thinking like that? It's that type of energy. If enough people get together and do that and they're practiced at it. And this is the battle star energy. So yeah, this is about having the courage to face this, what they're doing, and having the courage to face the truth, basically, of what's going on. Puts you, yeah, that's when the justice comes in, when you finally have the courage to say, okay, I see it, I'm going to have to do something about it. And that, I feel like you walk away from this energy. When you walk away from this energy, it changes everything. This is talking about senior authority. And so this is talking, I feel this is talking about the energy of Neptune. So Neptune left the sign of Pisces about a month and a half ago, and it was in Pisces for 14 years. And it moved into the sign of Aries, and that will be for the next 14 years. So a lot of people are feeling this energy. We're all having to kind of learn how to do things differently in business, in our life. Like, it's about how we approach life, basically. Oh, when I do it this way, after 14 years, I've figured it out. I have, you know, you have that system, and that system works. And you're like, and all of a sudden your system isn't working, and you're wondering what the heck happened. A lot of people are feeling that because Neptune moved into Aries, and this is Pisces is the senior executive, a water sign, and the Aries energy is the very first sign in the zodiac, and it's like a fire sign, a baby like crying its lungs out, a newborn, because it's not getting what it wants. And everybody running around trying to figure out, what does it want? What does it want? That's the energy we're in. It's like your phone got updated and now you have to figure out how to use it again. We have the Sagittarius energy. So this is about expansion. As soon as you start seeing, you know, like using your intuition and your logic together, you will start to see, oh my goodness, like you'll understand this expansion and what you need to do, because like you don't want to stay in this energy anymore, that's for sure. And then we have the Chariot coming in. The Chariot can also represent law and order coming in, but it's saying it's already coming in from the spiritual realm. This is on its way. Like, this is unstoppable because you've been on God's on your destined path. This is unstoppable. Now that you have given up the you know, the illusion of what your life really is, it's okay. This is what's really happening. Boom, here comes the Chariot. It's like a tank, dun, 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 carrying you through, running over obstacles. This is like, you know, the SWAT team coming in to take this down. Basically, that's what that is, a SWAT team. That's what I'm seeing. Interesting. A couple months ago, we had a SWAT team taking down a house just out across the street, and it was like really wild what they took out of that house. And hey, I mean, I don't really pay attention too much to what my neighbors are doing, but still, I mean, there was no indication, and what they took out of that house was like it was a lot. And so a lot of weapons and all sorts of shift going on there. And it's right across the street from you, and all of a sudden you look out the window and there's a SWAT team, and it's like, oh, okay. It's that type of energy. So this isn't the best reading in the world, Virgo, but it is what it is. Basically, don't panic, like stay calm, because if you're on the right side of the law, it's going to work out for you. If you're on the people that are on the wrong side of the law, they've been caught, bottom line. There's no getting out of this one. This is on the spiritual. They've been caught for their spiritual crimes as well as their ones in the 3D. So I do hope this has been a benefit for you. This has been there's been a couple challenging readings, and this is one of them. I'd say this is pretty challenging energy, but remember, the possibilities are held within the challenges. Thank you so much for your likes and comments and shares and subscribes. I really appreciate them. I'm honored when you subscribe. And I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now.